Did you push play?
Oh, I thought you were gonna push play.
Okay.
I push play.
I pushed
Oh,
play.
you just push pause. Okay, I just want to let you know that I'm still not caught up on Superman and Lois. Okay. All right.
Vibrations.
Okay, so hi, I'm Stephanie. We are going to be talking about The Flash. I'm so sorry, I did not introduce my sister.
Screen sis Chris.
Cool.
Yeah.
My name is Stephanie. We're going to be talking about this last episode of The Flash, which is called Goodbye Vibrations. I feel like the villain wasn't really villainy, but didn't really have like much at stake. But I mean, she was just giving people money. I mean, of course, I'm sure the whole point of the show was to just give a goodbye to Cisco. I love Cisco's character. He's been a great like cast for 7 years. I'm only assuming that Chester will take the reins and he will be in Cisco's place for the following season. And I'm guessing season 8's the last season. Like I'm guessing because it just seems like that's what they're doing. But yeah, I thought it was a nice send off. I thought it was cute when they all did the karaoke to Poker Face. I'm really kind of upset that they were just. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I know they can all sing. I was just like hoping I could actually hear like their singing voices. It's okay.
You already heard it, girl.
Often he only sang in that one singing episode with duet with Supergirl.
Yeah.
Well, but I wanted to hear some more singing. Okay,
Okay.
more singing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Rainbow Raider wasn't, or it was Rainbow Raider 2.0 was her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't a villain by any means. She just was jumping to the end solution or ending to or jumping to the conclusion rather than working through the process of it. So I actually really love that Barry ended up recommending her for the economic council or the economic committee or whatever.
Yeah, it was cute.
That was really nice because it kind of made me also wonder what's going on with that super eco-friendly robber that shows up every now and again, who's my absolute favorite. He shows up like, yeah, he has reusable bags.
Yeah.
So he's someone else I could probably go work with Rainbow Raider, which her name was Carrie Bates. Probably go work with her at the Economic Development Board or committee. Yeah, it was definitely sad because this is a character that's been there since day one.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like there is no Team Flash without Cisco Ramon. And I don't know how I feel because usually when certain characters come into place, it's kind of like, oh, well, this person's there. They're going to have two guys kind of like that. It's like, okay. Because when Chester came on board, I was like, he's not dissimilar from Cisco's character.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay, it'll be nice because I'll have somebody to really just bounce all of his like pop culture junk off of that somebody will be able to pick up with right away. But now I see it was a casting as a sort of replacement, if you will.
Yeah.
And I love Chester. So
yeah, Chester's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that Chester was able to stay on as part of the team, but I'm also sad that Siski is leaving.
Siski.
I did think it was like, you know, when they first walked, after they first told the team and everybody was taking it really well, you know, obviously, if you've ever had to say goodbye to someone, of course you want to put on like, you know, a strong face for them so that you won't, you know, impede on you know, them moving on.
Yeah.
But, you don't want to affect that in any way. It was sweet that they were putting on a tough face for him and that we finally got to see that they were actually having a really hard time with it. And yeah.
The one positive from that episode was the fact that the Rainbow Raider 2.0 caused so much happiness and joy that, people couldn't get anything else done. They were just so happy.
Hmm.
And I love when she whammied Barry because seeing Barry like just super eager and with his face was just so bright and he was dancing and they all had like that dancing contest, him and Cisco. And he's like, I just learned how to break dance. I watched 400 videos just now. And yeah, that part was really nice.
Yeah. And
But
I
like
like,
you said, she wasn't really a villain, so she just like made people happy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I liked when Chester showed up too, because Chester was like ready to join in on the fun, but he was actually there to like help solve the problem.
it's a good time. Anything else about the Flash?
I don't know. Do you think we'll see? I mean, I think we'll probably see Cisco again before the end of the season, maybe a little bit in his new role. And then if
Yeah,
if
I
next
was kind
season,
of bummed with the Star City thing. Just like you're going to Star City, like so there's no like real geological location of Star City or Central City.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's on like the East Coast or the West Coast, but I'm assuming, while he's there, he's just gonna be with those people.
Mhm.
Wait, who's in Star City? I don't know. Arrow got all messed up at the end. I mean, who's in? Yeah,
I don't know who's there.
I don't know what's going on there anymore. Okay, whatever. I just when they first him and Camilla first said Miami, I was just assuming they were just going to Miami.
Mhm.
But then you just said now he has a job at Argus. And it's like, okay, he could have just went to Miami and like did something cool. But I mean, maybe they just want to keep him close in case they want to bring him back.
Yeah.
And maybe Cisco himself doesn't really know 100% if he's like gone, or if he's just like semi gone.
Yeah. Well, so what do you think about Chester taking over as sort of the technological front of Team Flash? He seems to be very gifted in that area. Like he built
Yeah,
stuff in his garage and made a black
yeah,
hole by himself. So
definitely being able to build and put stuff together from like, kind of from scratch, kind of
mhm.
like being like a dumpster diver. So that is one thing that's different because he never had the money or the resources to do whatever he wanted, but now he does, and he's still like dumpster diving. Like that's kind of what makes him different, I guess, from Cisco. He
Not
does have a
unlike,
completely different like kind of outlook too.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
just him being different is probably what's going to be the best. But I mean, Cisco's
He,
irreplaceable to me.
okay.
I do like Chester though. Chester isn't bad.
I love Chester.
Like they're not. Neither one is like bad.
Mhm.
Is that coming out right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about Team Flash as it stands now? Because it seems like, I mean, we're losing Mecha Vibe, but in their corner they have Allegra. Does she have a name? Spectrum?
He's ultra. No, that was the other girl.
Yeah, the other girl is
What
Ultraviolet.
was Allegra's name?
Well, they have Allegra,
Allegra
obviously
Garcia.
Iris and Joe and Cecile. And then they go and pick up they go and pick up Wells whenever they need a Wells.
It's
Um,
very true.
you know, I'm really, this is gonna go back to season two, but like I kind of hate that they lost Victor Stein. Is that his name Victor Stein? Martin Stein. Is it Victor or Martin? Martin Stein, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. His first name's actually Victor. But yeah, it was sad that they lost Stein because I thought he was a good addition to the team with not having a Wells on board, but they took a different path there, which is fine. But then also with,
Sorry, I was
I
googling
mean,
Allegra Garcia to see if she actually had a name.
oh, okay. And then they also have, of course, Frost on their team. Then it seems like now Barry also has his children that he can call upon if anything goes
Yeah.
all the way sideways again. So yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay. So if you Google Allegra Garcia, the fandom, her name is Wavelength.
wavelength, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do
Okay.
you So remember when they got to the crime scene and Camilla was taking photos and off in the distance she saw Cecile.
Yeah.
And then when they talked to Cecile about it later, it almost seemed like she didn't recall being there.
Yeah, like she forgot.
Yeah. So do you think this is a side effect of when she got blasted from Psych
Possibly.
earlier on?
I kind of don't know what to expect because Psych, I feel like when they were doing the whole family scene with Sykes and Fuerza and Dion,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't really know what their powers were, and I don't the anomalies that were happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not 100% sure if Psych was well aware that he hit Cecile.
Oh, like it wasn't a purposeful okay.
Like
Yeah.
it was just like him falling asleep and his powers doing something or just something.
Right.
So I wonder if whatever happened kind of like, well, I wonder if it just affected her powers as well because she was growing stronger when she met Pop.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she used Thinker's chair. So I wonder if her powers, if when the the subconscious strike from Psych manifested two parts of her, maybe like a part that,
like a dual personality type.
yeah, because you remember Top's powers made Cecile feel like she was like dying, right? Like she lost her baby, right? Do you remember in the interrogation room? She told her to feel like emptiness and loss.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then when she learned she did it back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed as if, her powers were different. So I wonder if, like I said, if the subconscious strike from Psych made her like have two pieces of her or something. I don't know. Questions. We will see in these upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
Cecile.
So do you think Cecile's alter ego is going to be the villain for this second pod?
Maybe. So I'm sorry. So is the first pod's done, right?
Yeah, the first pod is done, and it was, like I said, it was originally titled Graphic Novel 3, so it's been retitled to God Complex.
Oh.
Yeah, so it said Graphic Novel 3, and this next one says Graphic Novel 4. So those are their working titles. It probably won't be renamed until afterwards.
It was kind of like how the first season of American Horror Story was just called American Horror Story, and then afterwards it was called Murder House.
Yeah.
And like how the first Star Wars was just Star Wars, and now it's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we will see. All right. Well, the Flash. I'm liking where the show is going. I mean, I know it's not going to last forever, and like I said, I did see at least two reports of Eddie Thawne coming back as Blue Cobalt, I think. So if I see that,
I wish Eddie hadn't died. I felt like that was such a
Cobalt Blue. I'm sorry, I'm horrible. See, here it is. Like I said, do you remember when I was reading all about Cobalt Blue?
I don't know.
I remember I called you.
We talk a lot.
I called you like a week ago. I called you like 3 weeks ago, and I was telling you that it was because like the mom, the doctor was drunk and like delivered and stole one of the twins. Barry Allen was a twin.
Oh,
remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so what was it again? They were Barry was a twin. They got separated at birth, and Reverse Flash was actually his brother?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So Eddie, I mean, in the comics, his name was Malcolm Thawne. So
Malcolm Merlin Thawne.
So maybe if we do see him next season, he'll be I'm not 100% sure like what they're doing with Iris and I mean not Iris, the daughter Nora and Bart. I don't know if they're going to. I'm sorry, I just thought about that first release photo again of Bart when he's just like, and it's just so chaotic. It's great, but it's chaotic. So I'm wondering if they're gonna do like if it's gonna be like their future, like in the future, since they combined all the realities again, and still not 100% sure if Nora's like even the same. But then do you remember when Wally said he saw Nora with the Speed Force? So I'm wondering if what he saw was that same Nora or another Nora. Because if there's multiple versions of people, but now that there's only one version of people, which Nora did he see? Because that was after Crisis when he said. Also, if he could see Nora, why wouldn't he see Bart? So maybe that was just like before they even put into discussion that they wanted to bring Bart in.
Mhm.
Also, if they do bring Cobalt Blue into the series, which is what like the rumor is, it'll be next season, and it's Eddie Thawne playing him. I wonder if he's going to be, or if they're going to address it like addressed before, like his real name was like Malcolm, but he went by Eddie, which is his middle name, because his name is Malcolm in the comics. So I'm just like kind of excited to see him come back. I just love Eddie, to be honest. Like I thought he was a great character, and he wasn't even a horrible boyfriend or a horrible partner. And then when he was the coincidence of season one, and then when he killed himself, he pretty much killed himself for Iris. If they collapsed every maybe when they did, remember when at the beginning of season six, when Cisco was running, wait, beginning of season seven, when Cisco was running around trying to, wait a minute, was that six? After Crisis happened and Cisco was going around trying to fill up all the, making a new book. Remember he
Yeah,
made a new book of new villains?
yeah.
I wonder if Crisis happened, but no one else knew, like no one kind of knew what happened with each individual like superhero and their family. They were the only ones that knew what actually happened. And then do you remember Grodd said he felt the world collapse?
Oh, okay.
Gorilla Grodd. So I'm wondering if Eddie never died, period. Maybe if they reset everything, that never happened. Everything that happened in season one.
So there's still an Eddie running loose that never actually became a cop, never met Iris or the West family.
Maybe.
I'm okay with that because I want Eddie back.
I'm
But
okay with that too. I don't want Eddie to be a villain,
yeah.
but I do like him because he is literally looks just like the comic book character. So I wonder if that's what maybe that's what they were setting up in the first of all period, that they were actually, yeah, but he's a little bit older than Barry. They'd be twins. He did look a little bit, at least 5 or 6 years older than Barry. Because
I mean, but
remember,
those
season
are
one, Barry was supposed to be 25.
25.
Okay, well, I just found an article from 2017 from comicbook.com saying, could Eddie Thawne be Cobalt Blue?
Really?
Hmm. I don't even remember that scene they're talking about. They said that he had a ring on that they were trying to do the scoop on. I'd have to read this article later.
Do you think her plan was a bad plan to like dump gold and jewels and money over a stadium? People
Okay,
definitely
first of
died.
all, dumping money sounds great. I
Mhm.
would love if someone dumped money on my lawn right now. If I went outside and there was money falling from the sky, I would say thank you and just take as much of it as I could. But the jewels would hurt, and that would probably kill people upon impact.
I think there were gold bars too.
Yeah, so she was definitely going to murder people without knowing that she was murdering people. So maybe she would just release her. Rainbow Raider eyeballs onto the crowd, and everybody would be so happy that they did not know that a gold bar was about to kill them. But in reality, a gold bar was about to kill them. Yeah, I mean, she was trying to do a little bit of good. I mean, everyone who thinks they're doing good always has some flaw in their plan because when they see the end, they don't see the middle. So the middle is always the rocky part.
It's a rocky part.
Yeah.
Well, so there was something you said earlier that I needed a little clarification on, and I already forgot what it was. So we'll probably talk about that later. But you're saying Cobalt is a villain.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, can you explain to me Barry and his twin? So Malcolm would be his twin. Malcolm would be his twin.
Yeah.
So his last name was never Thawne?
No, he was adopted into the Thawnes because their baby was stillborn.
Okay.
And the doctor was drunk. And when Nora was pregnant with twins, the doctor took Malcolm, gave him to the Thawnes, and then told Nora that she lost one of the babies.
Okay. And the Thawne, so does that lineage still make sense that Malcolm Eddie Thawne is the great grandfather of Reverse Flash?
Of Eobard?
Yeah, Eobard. I really like that name, Eobard. It grew on me.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because do you remember when Eobard told Eddie that his life was like meaningless?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he ended up being Cobalt Blue, but no one ever knew his identity. So he would have been a villain, period. But because he killed himself, Cobalt Blue was never born. Does that make sense?
I don't know. No. I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's blue cobalt or cobalt blue. I'm having a panic attack. I just want to know, doesn't cobalt mean blue? Is his name just blue? Yeah, like I'm saying, I'm just still trying to figure out what they're gonna do because if I'm still mad that Nora's name is Nora because her name should be Dawn. And the tornado twins, her name is Dawn. So I'm just like irritated, but I'm not because it's like there's so many like things that change from print to screen print to screen. Does that make sense? I mean, all of us now, especially with my Steve, are watching the DC universe. Much of it is different. Marvel too, of course.
I guess that's it. Goodbye, Cisco Ramon. Welcome, Chester. P. Runk.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will do a wonderful job as the new tech guy.
Yeah. I'm just assuming that, season 8's the last season.
What's crazy? I don't want it to be. I feel like it probably will be, but I don't want it to be.
So I'm sorry. So what number episode are we on now? What episode was that? Was that 100 and what?
45.
That was 145. Still have 5 more episodes until we see Nora and Bart. And Jay Garrick.
And that'll probably be the series finale. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Let's see. 1, 2,
Dang.
3.
Is that episode?
No, that'll be episode 17. It depends. If they've got a full season this run, then maybe we'll get a little bit more from them.
What do you think is going to go? What do you think is going to happen with Killer Frost and that super sexy ice guy that she's all about now?
Choblain. I don't know. obviously flirting with each other. So is Killer Frost going to be working for the government as like a hired hand? Is this like another kind of Amanda Waller Suicide Squad thing?
I hope not, because
I mean, it might
you
work on.
didn't see those Suicide Squad episodes of Arrow, but they were pretty good.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like it would probably work better on a smaller scale.
Yeah, but I think Amanda Waller died. Yeah, Amanda Waller definitely died. Someone killed her. I forget who it was because Lila took her place. And Lila started running the Suicide Squad, and that's what hurt her and Dave's relationship again.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong because I rewatched everything, but I haven't rewatched Arrow yet.
Okay.
Yes. No. I don't think that she'll be a hired hand because I also pretty sure that we're not done with Kramer and Joe and that
Yeah.
dynamic. Because
Kramer is using the cure in weapons.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is illegal. That should be illegal.
Mm-hmm. This is like the X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah. Which let's not talk about Last Stand.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.